Okay, this is probably going to be a really short-lived stream. I don't know what I'm going to do on this stream. I'm testing a couple of things because one thing is subscriber-only mode. So for those of you that have subscribed to my channel, you will be able to use the chat. Those of you that are watching this and you're not subscribed to the channel, if you want to participate in the chat, you can subscribe, and I think it's like a 10-minute wait time or something. But I did that because I think I've gotten some feedback from some of my long-term viewers that sometimes the chat gets it's like too fast flowing, and then a lot of people's questions are basically buried in the messages and things like that. But okay, so I guess an update on the channel. The channel upload the upload frequency is going to slow down a little bit for the videos. I need to do some overclocking video guides before my trip. So for those of you that don't know, I will be going to Japan in how many weeks? In 3 weeks from now. So I will be over there for a while. So I won't be able to do the Tech Thursday show. I might try to see how live streaming works over there, but I don't know if my cellular data plan will be able to handle that. So I don't know if that's going to work out, but what I do plan on doing, I do plan on making a lot of YouTube Shorts videos because I haven't really used the Shorts platform that much. I only recently started trying it out. So if you guys notice on my channel, I think I have like 3 YouTube Shorts in total. So while I'm over there, I'll be in the Tokyo area, and I think pretty much almost all the content that I'll be able to upload will be YouTube Shorts. It'll be quick because I'll be using my smartphone for pretty much everything while I'm there. Those of you who have lived in a very, very urban metro area like Tokyo or New York City, you guys know how it is with that urban lifestyle where you're always on the move. It's very fast-paced, and you rely on your smartphone or your cell phone to get by with pretty much everything in daily life. Shorts for phone users. You love the new chat better this way? Keep the real ones in. Yeah, well, I mean, if people want to subscribe to the channel, they can, and they can start talking after, like, I think it's 10 minutes. I put it to a really, really short wait time because I don't like to not include anybody who may have a question on the PC stuff. But yeah, I will be over there for a while, not like a super long amount of time, but I think we'll probably end up like not being able to do Tech Thursdays for the 12th of December, and then possibly the 19th. And then I think after that, I'll probably be back, but then the holiday, so like the whole winter break thing takes place after that. So there won't really be a whole lot of content on my channel for a while. It's going to kind of be like, well, I mean, at least tech-related stuff. There'll be like Japanese videos or like stuff while I'm over there. OC3D got some nice motherboard gaming benchmarks. On different what is that, X870E or X870? Yeah, so I was thinking what I'll probably do this stream is, well, I don't know. I need to get back in shape. My Japanese language skills are like really, really weak. My brain, I need to like really, really practice before I go over there because I don't want to, you know, like be completely at a loss of words while I'm there and being. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can get by without any Japanese language skills, but I think a little bit enough to be able to speak. So I need to review some vocabulary and stuff so I can actually form sentences. Chipsets do computations. Chipsets do computation? What does that mean? Chipsets do computation? No, the CPU does the computation. Or the GPU, depending on the application. So yeah, we will do that. I don't know, I didn't really have anything planned motherboard-wise, to be honest. How do I get back out of this Google Maps thing? Like, I'm stuck here, staring at Tokyo Station in the distance there. This literally looks like the architecture from the like late 1800s, mid 1800s when the Bakumatsu era was ending, and it's funny seeing all these like super modern buildings just surrounding this cool looking historical structure, which is basically the Tokyo Station, the train station. That is the Tokyo Station from the outside. That's a very nice looking station. Let's see what else they got here. Yeah, that is actually the overview. I want to know, like, why am I unable to do the satellite view? I don't understand why it's not working. But anyway, I will be in this area, which is basically the Tokyo metropolitan area. I don't plan on going out of the Tokyo area. So like I'm not going to Osaka or Nagoya. Those are and I guess Fukuoka is like the other tourist destination spot, and then maybe some people dare to go all the way up to Sapporo up there in Hokkaido, but the problem with that is it's going to be in the middle of December and it's going to be very cold, so I don't think I'm going to be going up there. So yeah, it's been a while. It will have been a while. How many years has it been actually since I was last there? It was before the pandemic. Because Japan basically like closed themselves off. Like no one could really travel in during like 2020, 2021. Oh, you're building your PC right now? The Nova? It has three X2 pins LED. What do they do? They look. See Sumo in Fukuoka. I'm not going to Fukuoka. I don't plan on it. So I'm probably gonna spend the whole time. So you're talking about RGB? 3 2-pin LED on the Nova. Typically, the only ones you'll end up using are probably the 3-pin ARGB. So there's like the 1 pin, and then there's a space, and there's like 2 pins. I'm not sure what those are for. We can look at the board. I have it here. Or the manual. Oh, I'm using the OLED, so everything is super tiny. I have to zoom way in. Hold on, let me change this up real quick. Where's the... Yeah, let's do this one. Okay. Let me see if I can actually navigate this. Probably not. This is probably a bad idea. I just need to see the diagram. You're talking about... Are you talking about the temperature sensor? The ones, these 3, 23, 22, 21? Oh, page 51. That would be this one. Yeah, those are temperature sensors. These are temperature sensors. You're talking about these 3, right? Those are temperature sensors. Samista. This means thermistor. Cable. Samista cable. O motherboard. See, I don't need the English manual. I'm good. I think I'm ready. I think I can go overseas and I'll survive. I can read English words that are transcribed into the Japanese writing system. I may not know what every single one of them mean, but I think I'm good. Samista cable o motherboard ue no samista. So basically, these are the sensors. Thermistor. They're basically temperature sensors, and this is where you plug them in. The motherboard would have had the actual sensors in the box. So it's like motherboard no hako ni naka ni hairu. So yeah, you should have. The motherboard should have come with those sensors in the box. They're gonna be like in plastic wraps. I don't know if they give you 3 of them or they only give you like 1, but I think they give you all 3 if there's 3 sensors. 14G what? Really, all you need is the sensors. You're talking about this, right? Am I on the right track? It comes with 3, so you're kind of confused. No, these are temperature sensors. These are not for LEDs. These are thermal sensors. You can put them in, you can basically map them, like plug them into like, you know, an SSD or something if you want to read the temperature or something like that. That's what they're for. They're thermal sensors. Samistar. Samista means thermistor. Samista cable or motherboard. Why is it repeating? Oh, it's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Yeah, that's what they are. I think a lot of motherboards have these. These aren't like new or they're exclusive to the Nova. I'm pretty sure a bunch of motherboards have these. The one that you're most likely going to use, though, the most common one, is this one on page 53. These are the standard ARGB, like any Montech fans use these. The stock AMD coolers, like the Wraith Prism, uses these. These ARGB, well, I call them the 3-pin. See, it's the ground pin is off by itself, and then you have the voltage out. And man, I like how ASRock labels stuff so well. Like their menu items and the descriptions are so easy to read. Yeah, this is a lot more advanced. What is this saying? Adore. Addressable. Addressable LED cable. Okay, so this is telling you something ni series. Oh boy, I don't know what this says. I used to know what that says. Man, so much of my knowledge of like Japanese kanji is like washed away. It's just like washed away. Like it's DDR4 gone. Transition to DDR5. 44. This is the USB 3.2. This is for a front panel. Your case has to have a USB-C. This is basically for a USB-C port on the front of the case. That's what this is. This is page... Oh, you said 44. Yeah, that is 44. Yeah, this is for a USB Type-C. The front of the case will have a USB... If your case doesn't have USB Type-C, is hardware price in Japan better or worse? It's way worse. It's way worse. Everything in Japan is way more expensive. I am going to check out their Micro Center equivalents while I'm there. Tsukumo and Dospara, and there's another really big one. I'm forgetting the name of it right now. But Tsukumo is a very famous one in Akiba, and Dospara is another one. Dospara they're the ones who like they actually send. They partner up with I forgot what the YouTube channel ASCII. No, not ASCII. ASCII and the other one. There's like 2 or 3 big Japanese tech channels that send like they'll even send people to America to like go meet with AMD to like get the lowdown on like Ryzen, or they'll go to like Nvidia's office to get the lowdown on like RTX 50 series and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, basically if your case is an older case and it doesn't have a USB-C, then you can't use this. Your chassis has a hub that has PWM cable. I don't really know where this goes into the motherboard. What type of case is that? But yeah, to answer your question, super googly, in Japan, the price of like the CPUs are like really expensive. They're way more expensive. I think somebody told me that like a Ryzen 9, like a Ryzen, I think the 9900X, or maybe even no, not the 9700X. The 9900X is like $660 or something. So it is more expensive. The new PCIe, where do we connect that? The new PCIe? What's the new PCIe? This isn't PCIe, this is USB. What are we referring to? If your chassis has a hub with a PWM cable... Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. That's not an MSI case, is it? Oh, Antec Flux Pro. Is that an old case? Antec Flux Pro. This? Oh yeah, I think you remember mentioning this. I remember somebody mentioned it. It was probably you. I remember this one because it had the wood. Yeah, this is a modern one. It looks like it has the standard USB-C. I don't know what that... Oh, this. Okay, see, so the ones on the right, those 3 pins are the ARGB that I was talking about, and then it has 4-pin PWM. One of these needs to go to the motherboard though, so that it's controlled by the motherboard. This is probably also going to need a SATA power connector. If it doesn't use a SATA power connector, it probably has some kind of adapter from that weird like 3-pin thing to something. I don't know. This is a new one. USB-C. PWM go to where though? The PWM goes to your motherboard. You're gonna have to connect. The main one needs to go to the motherboard. It even probably says it. One of them probably goes to the motherboard. Because see, the one that derives the input signal from the motherboard is going to just repeat it to all the other ones. You're talking about the third PCIe now on the bottom of the motherboard? You're talking about the Nova? The Nova. What are we talking? What is the question about the Nova's PCIe? This is a PCIe Gen 3 X2, isn't it? Or is it PCIe Gen 4 X2? It's one or the other. I think it's Gen 3 X2. They don't have the third PCIe on the Nova? Yeah, they do. There's one here, there's a second one, which is an X1, and then it has an X2. I forgot how many lanes. The last slot is 2 lanes. First one is 16, second one is 1, and the third one is 2 lanes. Which means it can drive a capture card. It can also drive a 10 gigabit LAN interface card. If you have one of those. Yeah, so 10 and 11. This is the addressable RGB. Addressable. That's literally addressable. 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 Man, the transcribed words are actually like hard for me to read. Like I can't read these quickly. Samista. Cable. Beta? Huh? Header. Oh, header. Okay, this is saying thermistor cable header. Shashi fan. Chassis fan. Oh. Okay. This isn't hiragana, this is katakana. You'd be surprised, man, because a lot of these words, a lot of the katakana words are actually from foreign, they're like foreign loan words that they transcribe. So a lot of this is like, it's funny because it's like, as an English speaker, it should be easy for me to read this, but it's like, I gotta like sound it out in my head. So it's like, because it's not gonna, you're not gonna say it like an English word, you're gonna say it like a Japanese word. Samista. Thermistor. Samista. Cable. Header. Cable header. Page 53. No, they're not. Those are temperature sensors. I think we already went over that, didn't we? You said 53? I thought we already went over. Oh, no, 53. 53 is the ARGB. Yeah, these are RGB. These are the most common ones. These are the addressable. Adore saburu. Addressable. Adore saburu. Adore sabaru. Adore sabaru. LED. Header. Yeah, this is the addressable header. This is ARGB. See, I don't need the English manual, although it just slows me down having to, like, it's like having to wade through, like, waist-deep water. It's like I'm slowed down. I have to, like, process the knowledge. Like, it's like, wow. Man. At least I'm not having to translate, like, if it was Mandarin, it'd be worse, because I don't even know, I can't speak Mandarin, so, but I know enough, like, I know some kanji from Japanese, and I know that the kanji, like, the writing is similar to the Chinese writing, Hanzi. So it's like, if I was looking at the Chinese manual, this would be even more hilarious, because I wouldn't be able to say anything, but I would actually be able to probably figure out some of it. Actually, now let me go look at the Chinese manual. Where is the let's see. Which one is the okay, this one is simplified Chinese. So this one is for like people in mainland China and I guess Hong Kong. They use simplified Mandarin. Oh boy. Yeah, this is hard mode. I don't know what any it's like wow. Okay, I have to use context clues now. So this is the motherboard diagram. How many PCs do I have, or are you asking the guy building the PC? Wow, this is... Oh, you know what? Which one was the addressable RGB? Hold on. Where was the... Let me go back to the content. I want to see if I can figure out, like, the Chinese addressable RGB. Okay, here... It was page 50... What? What was the page? 52? Why is it, like... Why is it written like this? Page 54. No, page 53. Why is the Chinese manual, like, doesn't have all the things? Why are they skipping over certain categories? Okay, here it is. Yeah, it's like I can kind of figure out what it's saying, but I don't know how to pronounce any of it. So it's like, I will be going there in like 3 weeks from now. So I need to really start preparing so I don't, like, I'm not completely 100% lost. Yeah, the Chinese language is cool. Like, I wish I knew more of the writing. It's... Because, see, the thing is, it looks kind of like the kanji. It looks kind of like kanji. Maybe actually the traditional Chinese, maybe like Taiwan-based, looks more similar to kanji. Hold on, let me see. I think it kind of does. Oh, yeah, it actually does look more like Japanese writing. So that's interesting. So traditional Chinese looks more like the Japanese nouns, like kanji. Simplified looks more modern. You're there in January? Like, where are you just gonna, like, visit the whole... Where are you going, actually? Because I'm only gonna be in the Tokyo area. Because I was looking at the beginning of the stream, and I need to probably review some of the vocabulary, because I'm, like, super, like, way out of practice. The last time I had to use Japanese was when Zen Plus was the latest CPU. That was a long time ago. In computer years, that's a very long time ago. Nagano. Oh, okay. I've never been to Nagano. I'm going to the Tokyo area. I'll just be in the Tokyo area. Probably go to see some of the suburb areas like Setagaya. I may go back to my old stomping ground, Adachiku. Computer years, yeah, man. 2018 was a long time ago. Oh, Alexander had asked how many computers. Right now, there's 3 computers. Well, okay. There's 5 computers. So, right now, we are streaming on a 9800X3D. To the left of me, there is a 9950X. That is the Tech Thursdays PC. And then behind me, sitting over there, like literally doing nothing right now, is the Intel Core Ultra. And then I also have a Threadripper. And then I also have the 13900K. So that's 5 computers. What is that right? Yeah, 5 computers. You stayed in Shinjuku? Not Shinjuku. Shinjuku or Shinjuku? Yeah, I'll be going to Narita Kuko. I'm flying into Narita. I was thinking of flying into Haneda. I don't know. Every time I go to Japan, it's like I always end up flying to Narita. Shinjuku. Yeah, I'll be going to Shinjuku. I gotta find the crepes. In Shinjuku. If I can't find the really good ones in Shibuya, then I have to go get the cheap ones in Shinjuku. That's my plan. That's my backup. Shinjuku is the backup. You can't find the good crepes in Shibuya because I don't remember where they are. So for those that don't know, it's very easy. If you ever want to go to Tokyo, think of it as a giant circle. There's a loop. Do we have to do paint time for this? Are we going to have to do paint time to draw a map of Tokyo? I was supposed to be, like... I need to be doing some like vocabulary stuff. Maybe we'll do that in a little bit. Yes, I did live in Japan, but that was a while back. Hence the reason why we need to review. I need to review some vocabulary real quick. So while you guys keep chatting, let me do one quick thing. I need to do like rapid vocab just to see. I have not ran this in like years. So let me see. Ue.
見つかる。
見つかる。
酸っぱい。
と酸っぱい。自分。
大人。
大人。
ご主人。
ご主人。Is that really the correct one? 一人。お願い。上手。来年。本当に。
欲しい。
欲しい。休み。休む。見える。OK。違う。
やめる。
やめる。お兄さん。妻。道。酸っぱい。いっぱい。島。悪い。
動く。
動く。
きれい。
きれい。
男。
男。
小さい。
小さい。来る。
あそこ。
あそこ。
左。
左。
6。
6。5。
8。
8。
優しい。
優しい。大きい。ある。前。
ほか。
ほか。
寒い。
寒い。時々。時々。4つ。7つ。口。
変。
変。
線。
線。
花。
花。酒。Oh, sake? Oh, 酒
3日。
3日。
9つ。
9つ。
ため。
閉まる。彼氏。むく冷たい。ため
閉まる。
閉まる。
6つ。
6つ。
答える。
答える。
冷たい。
冷たい。ゆっくり。
3つ。
3つ。
何。
何。閉まる。
10日。
10日。冷たい。
手。
さっき手。出す。
冷たい。
冷たい。
4日。
4日。月。冷たい。女。7。
冷たい。
冷たい。
万。
万。夜。冷たい。
お手洗い。
お手洗い。
人。
人。高校生。
強い。
強い。
大丈夫。
大丈夫。戦い。
100。
100。
おいしい。
おいしい。
以外。
以外。目。
父。
父。
昨日。
昨日。
いい。
いい。下。
母。
母。
僕。
僕。駅。
し。
し。OK。 I'll need to like practice sentences. I'll have to get with some people to practice talking as well. But okay, I mean, I haven't done that in a while. You, test out AI translator apps. Yeah, but see, I would only rely on that if see, I'm the type of person that I want to actually be able to understand fully and know the language. So it's like the AI stuff, I would only use that if I get into a position where like the situation or the conversation gets above my language capabilities. Then I would rely on some kind of AI translator or something like that, or Google Translate even. Otherwise, I try to function on my own as much as possible without relying on AI or anything like that. But yeah, for those of you that have never been to Tokyo, the way I like to describe it is basically it's a big circle. It's if you know obviously there's a train, or there's a bunch of trains, but the way you would get around the city is by train, and it's a big loop. So there's this famous train called the Yamanote. The Yamanote is basically a train. It's the green train that goes around the city in a loop. It just goes around in a big circle. So it's very easy to get to anywhere you want to go in the main city area as long as you're on the train. So like, for example, we were talking about Shinjuku earlier. If I want to go to Shinjuku Eki, Shinjuku train station is actually the most, I think it's either the world's second most crowded train station in the world, or it is the actual most crowded train station in the world. There's a train station in Mexico City, I believe, which is probably either number one or Shinjuku is number one. I forget. For some reason it went to Windows 11. Yeah, it's going to go to Windows 11 if you already have a SSD installed with it. So let's see. Can I get a picture of inside here? Shinjuku. Wow, they got a picture of it when there's no one around. That's rare. That's really rare. I want to see, like, where's the actual... Hold on, what about this area? Will it go? No. Okay. Let's see. This is outside. Where's the actual... Okay, I think it's... Oh, right there? No. See, I've been here before, but this looks familiar. But it has been a while since I was last here. Yeah, I don't... The station is somewhere... It's... Oh, it's right there. Yeah, that's it. That's the station. It's this building right here. Look for the Lumine or the Atre. It's like you always look for those like French sounding whatever places, because that's where the train station is. Yeah, so I will be going there. I don't know what's up with the map right now, but okay. So Shinjuku Eki. Tokyo Eki's on the other side. Tokyo... So basically, Tokyo Station is on the east, Shinjuku on the west, and the two of them, basically, the train goes in a big circle around. So your PC's working now? You gave the 7800X3D to your son? Anytime I would adjust F-clock, I would have audio cutouts. Yeah, you shouldn't mess with F-clock if you're running your RAM at 6000 or 8000. There's no reason to. It should always run at 2 gigahertz, and that's it. If you're having... See, that's a sign that it's unstable. If you're getting audio cutouts, your F-clock is unstable. That's why it's really not worth messing with it. Okay, I'm trying to remember the train station names, because... So, okay, for those of you that have been to Japan before... if you've flown in from Narita Kuko. Where is that? That's Narita Airport, which is somewhere to the east of they're way out here. Okay. There it is. So you basically take the... Is that it? No, that's Keisei. There's a Skyliner Express train. I think it costs like $15 or $20 or something. It'll be like a 20-minute train ride across Japan to get you to Tokyo, because Narita is not in Tokyo. It's actually outside. So it's like way over there. So I don't know if you guys can see the mouse. Yeah, you guys can see the mouse, but it's really small because this is a 4K screen. So it's a 20-minute ride, and it stops at 2 stations. So it will go like this, a 20-minute train ride, and then when it gets into Tokyo, it will stop at a station, a train station called Nippori, which I think is this one. No, where is Nippori? Oh, this one? No, Ueno. Oh, Nippori. There it is. It'll stop here at this train station. And I have to remember, because this is exactly what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to take that train and get off at Nippori. Or, if it still works the way it did when I was last there, you can actually stay on the train and ride to the second stop. There's only 2 stops before it goes back to the airport. It'll stop at Nippori, and then it will go down to... It'll go past this one station called... well, no, actually, I forget. It'll just go from Nippori, and it will go all the way to Ueno. Ueno is a very big, crowded train station. And Ueno is a big train station because it is where the Shinkansen, the bullet train is at Ueno. So for the people who want to go visit northern Japan, they will typically get on the Shinkansen, the bullet train, at Ueno Station, because this is a very big and crowded station. There's also a big park, Ueno Koen. Ueno Park is like literally, it's this green section to the left of the train station. The train station is that red thing on Google Maps. So that it's a nice area too. Like Ueno, the area immediately outside this station is a very tourist area. I forget what, there's like a candy street or something. There's like a bunch of like street food and all this stuff. And you can also walk from Ueno to Asakusa, which is the famous place where it's further to the east. And if you guys know anything about some of the tourist areas, there's a place, here's Asakusa, the Tokyo Sky Tree. So Sensoji is over here. Sensoji, there it is, the famous temple. Sensoji. And then the Tokyo Sky Tree, which is the famous... It looks kind of like the Seattle Space Needle, only it's like newer. It's somewhere like nearby. It's just around this area, somewhere near Asakusa. So I'm talking about like very, very touristy places. You know, like... So Ueno is it's like really popping off. Like if you want to go to a cool area, Ueno is cool. It's very touristy. There's a park. You can walk to the east, and you can get to see lots of like the commercial bit, not industrial, but like the like markets and street food and stuff. And then you walk through. I guess there's like residential stuff over here, but it's mostly like apartments. And then you get over to the Asakusa area, and then that's Tokyo Sky Tree, which I don't know where that is, but it's somewhere like around here. You want to come with me? I don't know where it is. It's somewhere around here, but then there's Sumidakawa. So that's Sumida River. And then there's like a bunch of stuff over here. So this is the east side. I call this east side. There's the east side and there's the west side. You're either on east side Tokyo or west side Tokyo. East side has Sky Tree, Ueno Koen, Akihabara. For all the otaku, all the anime nerds, all the manga people, you want to be in east side. Because if you go further down, so Ueno Ueno. Okay, let me see here. So if you're taking the Yamanote Sen, Yamanote is the train that goes in a big circle around the city. So it's like if you don't know how to do anything, you just get on the Yamanote, look for the green train, the yellow-green colored train, and you go from Nippori or Ueno, and you go clockwise. So it's gonna go, so like, okay, here's Nippori. Nippori Eki. Eki means train station. So Nippori Eki, we're going down, 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 and then the first stop, Ugui Sudani. Ugui Sudani, like, I don't know what's there. It's like, it's just some random train station. I'm sure there's some stuff there, but it's like I never got off there. I probably got off there like one time and then got back on the train. But there's like really nothing there as far as I know for like sightseeing. There's probably some stuff. It says there's a temple around here. So then Ugui Sudani, then it goes to the next stop. It loops like this, and here's Ueno. Here's the really big train station. Oki Eki. Then it's gonna go down, down, down. It keeps going. Yeah, Ueno is a big one. And then it goes to, what is this? Okachimachi. So Okachimachi is the next one after Ueno. And then after Ueno, or no, after Okachimachi, then it goes to Akihabara. So Akihabara, the place where all the anime, all the action figures, let's go in here, let's take a look. Akihabara. Okay, that's not what I wanted to see. Like, what was this? What? How did Google Maps get stuck inside the train? That's weird. Okay. Let's put the little dude over here then. Ah, this is Akihabara. So there you see. So, like, all this stuff right over here. All this Genshin Impact and maid cafes. Yeah, so this is Akihabara. So again, like I said, east side Tokyo. You go Ueno, Okachimachi, Akihabara. So this is basically the otaku, the nerd area. This is where all the tech stores are. This is where the Japanese micro centers are. So I will definitely be going here because I need to see the Japanese micro centers. I need to experience the Japanese equivalent of micro center. So Akihabara has the micro centers. There's more than one. There's like Tsukumo. Actually, I gotta find. Let me see if I can find it from here. Let me just walk over here real quick. Let's take a look. Soft map. Yeah, this is okay. Big camera. So this one is an electronics. You can buy like DSLR cameras and stuff in here, and they might have some of the electronic tech stuff. USB memory, Apple, Microsoft, PC. See, I can see, I'm reading the signs. They got all the good stuff. Free Wi-Fi. They got free Wi-Fi in their tax-free store for the foreigners. Although I've heard that there's some talk of starting to, like tax foreigners or something because it's like like right now the yen is really weak. So it's like they're trying to like make some money off the foreigners. Because the locals have to pay like so much money. Man, the electronics, like buying a Ryzen CPU is really expensive in Japan. I will compare the price of like Ryzen and Intel CPUs and GPUs while I'm there. But see like all this stuff. So is that Tsukukiya? No, I don't know what that is. It's some ramen shop. Man, Genshin Impact? They've got, like, Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is super popular in Japan. I know Star Rail is also very popular over there. Talk about, like, foreign stuff. Like, Genshin Impact is a Chinese-made game. Wow. Yeah, this is the main, like, this is it. You come outside the train station. Train station is back that way. So the train station is, like, over here. That wall après is over there. I can see it in the distance. So you walk from there, and then you just walk along this street, and you're already there. Tsukumo, if I remember, is going to be up here. So we're going to want to go this way. I want to go this way. Yeah, there it is. I see Micro Center. I see the Japanese Micro Center. There it is. There it is. Tsukumo. This is a Micro Center in Japan. It's multi-story. Yes. Heaps of tech stores with the crazy stairs. Yeah. There's a lot. I might have to take like 2 really big check-in luggage nimotsu. So yeah, because I'm probably gonna be going in there. I know I'm definitely gonna go in here. And there's another one called Dospara, which is somewhere. Dospara has a really good YouTube channel, like a tech tuber channel. I need to find where their thing is. At least they did have it a number of years ago, but then I think they partnered with like another YouTube channel, which I think took over the name. They're somewhere. I don't know where they are. Anyway, Akihabara, like I said, this is the place if you're looking for technology stuff, if you're building your own PC. The Micro Center looks like it was 3D printed. That is a strange looking, almost like a creepy smiley face that someone just kind of like put right there. I see like 2 eyeballs and a weird, and like a small smile, and then a creepy smile, grin, or jaw or something. Razer, you. Oh, Intel. What is this? Intel Raptor Lake. This is the Raptor Lake. Performance. They got Intel, Ryzen. Wait, okay, this is an old picture. This is old picture. This is that even 14th gen? I think this is 13th gen and Ryzen 7000 series. Man, when was this picture taken? September of last year. Okay, this was before Raptor refresh. So this is 13th gen and Ryzen 7000. Yeah, this is like one of the like landmarks. I gotta go to this place. This is like one of the first places I need to go to when I'm there. Nova's running 8000. Yeah, it's well, are you actually using 8000 RAM? Because if you're not using RAM that's rated for 8000, you're not guaranteed to hit a very high speeds. Let me see. I think if I remember, Dospara was on like some back road. Uber Eats. I remember there was a lot of like people riding on mopeds to deliver pizzas from Domino's. We might see one of those guys around. Let me see. What is this? Dospara. Oh, I found one of them. It's closed in the picture. This is Dospara. Okay, here's another micro center. There's another micro center. Dospara. So this is another one. This one actually has a YouTube channel, and they have more than one in this area. So this is like one of the stores. There's another Dospara somewhere. There's a larger one. I still have like free merch that I got from some event. They had like 2 people talking. The actual YouTubers, the vloggers were like doing this event. There was a crowd of people. It might have actually been right here. I was here, and I got like the merch. It was like a bag. It was like an Intel, I think it was like an Intel bag and like a bunch of random freebie stuff in there. It's weird how like people literally live right here. Like this is, these are people's like living places. Like these are apartments and stuff that are stacked on top of like literally right next to like commercial businesses and stuff. It's that I always found that kind of interesting. Like this is a apartment complex right here. See, like that's the lobby. I think. Oh no, that might be an office building actually. Hold on, that might be an office building. Yeah, because yeah, that's not a. That might be a hotel. I don't see that's the word. Is there hotel anywhere? Hoteru? Jihanki? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, this is the Akihabara area, though. So, what is this? Moriyama. Yeah, game station. Oh, they have the arcades. You can play Tekken in the arcades, and they've got like a bunch of the other games, too. Yeah, so there's Taito. Yeah, because I think if I remember, Akihabara is in the Taito ward. I don't think it's in Minato. Minato is the really, really like upscale. That's where like all the millionaires are and stuff. Because that's I think Roppongi is in Minato. Roppongi Hills, Six Hills, is that part of Japan. And then like Ginza, Yurakucho, Shimbashi, all those areas are like south of here. It's still the east side though. It's still east side of Tokyo. So this is all east side. What are you trying to do? There. So are they this memory kit? Is it this memory kit from G-Skill that runs at 8,000? Those you just set XMP and you set what is it? VSOC. You set it to 1.2 volts. And that's all. No, VDDIO you just leave it on auto. So many pachinko places around. Yeah, there are a lot. Well, the pachinko, I don't remember people lining up for pachinko parlors. I remember them lining up for like restaurants and stuff. Well, I found the Dospara. That was one of them. There's another one around somewhere though. So you're going there in January? See, I wanted to go to Japan in October. I feel like October is the best time to go because it's not super hot anymore. It's not super cold. January, it's cold. It's very cold in Japan in January. January, February, March are cold months, especially January and February. I think December. So I've never been to Japan in the fall. The autumn season is the only season that I have never experienced in Japan. I've experienced Japanese winter, Japanese spring, and Japanese summer. And summer is terrible. Summer's literally, well, okay, it depends on what you like. If you like cold weather, summer is the worst season imaginable. It is super humid, it is super hot. Winter is tolerable, but it's just very cold. So as long as you're wearing like winter clothes, it's manageable. Although sometimes it snows a lot. Then spring is actually pretty nice, but I think fall is probably better. But I've never. Yeah, you're going to Nagano, so yeah, you're snowboarding or skiing. Yeah, I've never been to Nagano. Yeah, so this is actually the main street. Skumo? Yeah, Skumo. Micro Center is back over there, guys. The big Micro Center. The game station. What else is over here? Man, they've got all these, They've got all these, like, Genshin Impact signs everywhere. I'm surprised. Genshin Impact is super big over here, apparently. Yeah, this is an arcade. There's an arcade. There you see the gachapon. Oh, wow. Genshin Impact. That looks like... Oh, no, that might not be Genshin Impact. That looks like, what's her name from the game, though? I think that's... Wait a minute. Isn't that... No, that's probably something else. This is, like, a tourist thing. There's a tourist store. Anytime it says tax-free shop, that's a good sign that it's... They probably sell, like, luggage and stuff in there. This does look familiar, though. I feel like I've been over here before. That's an arcade. There's an arcade. That's definitely an arcade. So they've got, like, I think Tekken and stuff is in, like, oh, Sega. Yeah, that's a Sega arcade. You can fry an egg and boil a tea outside. Yeah. Yeah, you can do that in Tokyo in the summer. Yeah, I mean, it's very humid. It's very humid. It's like Florida. in the summer. Okay, this is a drugstore. That's the symbol for, like, medicine. I think, what is the word for that? Kusuri? Kusuri? Oh, it says drugstore. I recognize the symbol, the Japanese symbol, before I actually read the English. Yeah, and Japanese drugstores are different from in America. So in America, we don't actually have traditional drug stores. Like, you go to a pharmacy inside another store. So, like, you typically go to a CVS or a Walgreens or a pharmacy in, like, a Walmart or another type of grocery store that has a pharmacy. In Japan, there's no such thing. There's no such concept. You can't go into, like, a Kroger or a Tom Thumb or a CVS to buy medicine or over-the-counter medication. Like, that's not how it works. You have to go to a dedicated store that has this symbol on it that indicates that it is a store with medicine. They only have dedicated, like, they literally only sell, like, I guess they sell, like, personal hygiene stuff, but it's mostly medicine stuff. Like, this is the only type of place that you have to go to one of these if you need to get, like, prescription medication and stuff like that. There's no, like, you can't go into a grocery store. There's no pharmacy in a grocery store in Japan. Have I been to Fox Village? No, I have been to... I've been to that place in Nara, in the Kyoto, in the Osaka, Kansai area, where they have, like, a bunch of deer and stuff walking around. I've been there, but I've never been to, like, a Fox Village, or... I've been to an owl cafe in Osaka. But I've never really done the animal, like, gone to the animal cafe things and stuff while in the Tokyo area. I've only ever done that in the Kansai, in Osaka or Kyoto or Nara. I mean, all three of them in the same area. So, but yeah, man, they keep their cars, like, super clean looking. Look at how polished that looks. Yeah, I was always amazed at how clean all the cars look. Even the older looking cars look super clean. Just everything looks super clean. Like, there's no chewing gum on the ground. There's no trash. Just, okay, somebody put boxes right there. That's actually kind of rare to see boxes like that. But there's no trash. Like, you don't see any litter or stuff on the ground, or bubble gum or chewing gum on the ground. You see, like, cracks, micro cracks because of all the tectonic activity, because they got a lot of earthquakes. But you don't really see, like, trash or anything all over the ground. So, what is this? Radio. I think I forget what that says, but it's like, it's not company or something, but it's like the store. Radio something. It's like Radio Shack or something like that. Radio. That's radio. Yeah, this is one of those stores that has those steps that go up, up, up to all the floors. Like, this is the sort of store, like, if you're looking for those rare Gundams from, like, G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Seed Destiny, or even the modern series, you'll be able to find them in a store like this. So all the model kits, or even, like, the pre-assembled action figure ones for the Gundam stuff, they're going to be in this type of store. I think there's actually, like, two. I think this is also another one. I like how I took a step forward and it's like it completely changed the time of day and it closed the store. But yeah, you can see the stairs. There they go. There's the stairs. Owl Cafe. How they keep the owls from shredding you with their talons. Good question. I don't know. I know. I just know I was in one. And there was actually an owl on my head. The owl was perched on my head. And it was a really big owl too. And was sitting on my head. It was kind of weird. Yeah, this is a big store for like figurines and Gundam. And then this one, what is this? This looks like, okay, that's like a ramen place. And then there's a maid cafe on the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor. Yeah, this is a maid cafe. And then something's closed. What is this? Gamers! This store's literally called Gamers. Gamers! And then it's got like some kind of what is that one Just Dance type of game? Like what for like the Nintendo Wii? Oh, people line up. See, look at that. People lining up. There you go. That's the Japanese thing to do. Form a line. Form a line like King Theoden said in Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Reform the line. Reform the line. There they go. That is a thing you'll see a lot when you're there. Yeah, well, I'll have to probably stand in one of those lines. Well, that's cool. What is this guy doing? This guy's standing on top of this truck. He's literally standing on the top of the truck. What is this? Oh, are they recycling? Are they picking up like empty cardboard from the restaurants? That's probably what that is. It's probably trash day or something. Man, they got a whole lot of Jido Hanbaiki, vending machines. It snows like 15 meters per year. Yeah, especially the further north you go. Like, I know Hokkaido is very, very cold. Oh, this is the store that I remember. Yeah, this one. I remember it looks like one of those like playground tunnel things, but that's actually the stairs. And there's the entrance to the train station. Remember I said atre? You see, look for the atre. then you know there's a train station. Because it's basically like a shopping center inside the train station. So you don't even need to leave the train station if you want to just shop for like whatever they have in the atre. And then, yeah, see, look, I remember this. The escalators. I was in there before, yeah, I recognize this. Intel Core i7. Acer Predator. This is a laptop. Gaming laptop. MSI curved gaming. See, it's the same no matter where you go. You're going to see MSI, Acer, Gigabyte, Asus, ASRock, Microsoft Game Pass with this Republic of Gamers Beyond Gaming, Gemu, Windows 11. You've been to Hokkaido? I've never been to Hokkaido. I don't know if I'll ever go there. I mean, I may go there, but I think I'd only go there in the summer. That would be the most tolerable part of Japan in the summer, actually, now that I think about it. I mean, they got a lot of MSI signage there. They even have the MSI anime girl. That's the other thing, too. You don't see any of that in the West. The way they advertise there is completely different from here. Like, AMD actually has, like, anime characters, but I think a lot of people in the West don't even know that. Cardfight Vanguard. I haven't played that in a while. That is actually a lot more of a balanced card game than Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, like, super broken, man, compared to this game. Sapporo is much more chill. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. You know what's another place that I've always heard is like very laid back, and the people there are not nearly as uptight as they are in most of Japan? Okinawa. Okinawa is a place that I want to visit Okinawa someday. I also want to visit Taiwan. Just because Taiwan is the mecca. I've heard that Taiwan has really good street food, just really good food in general. And it's the mecca of tech. So it's like, if you're a true enthusiast, you should make it a life goal to visit Taiwan at least once in your entire lifetime. Because Taiwan is where it all happens. So I really, really want to go to like a Computex. I feel like Computex in Taipei is way more fun for an enthusiast, a tech enthusiast, than CES, which I think is in Vegas in January. Okay, that's the station entrance. Yeah, that's a JR. Yeah, so they've got, I think Keihin is also there. And then, obviously, Yamanote is the green one. I forget what the B one is. JB, JY, JK. JK is Keihin, and Y is Yamanote. There's anime characters around every corner. Yeah, that's because we're in Akihabara. This is the Akihabara area. Yeah, they're gonna have all this. I don't know what this is. This looks like Love Live, but I don't recognize any of these characters at all because I don't pay attention to that series. The ones that I keep recognizing is Genshin Impact. I keep seeing like Genshin Impact. Oh, there's Evangelion. And I think I saw like a Digimon thing. Cardfight Vanguard is pretty popular too, man. I thought Cardfight Vanguard like fell off. Boy, was I wrong. If they've got advertisement, they got signage all over the place. Cardfight Vanguard. There's another Cardfight Vanguard right there. I want to find that back alley where there's a dude who sells kebabs. There's a guy from, I think he's either from, he's from somewhere in, like the part of Eastern Europe that is bordering on like the west side of Asia. I think like Turkey or something. No, I don't know if he's from Turkey. I forget where he's from. There's a guy who he makes these really good kebabs, and his shop is in Akihabara, and he's got like American rap music from Snoop Dogg playing on a loudspeaker in the alley. It is bizarre because you got all these like anime, smiley face stuff, all these bright colors. Then all of a sudden there's this guy making kebabs on the side of the street on a back alley, and you're listening to like American rap music. And the guy isn't even from America. He's like from some part of like Eastern Europe or somewhere. It's so weird. I want to see if he's still in business when I go there, because his kebabs are really good. And he's based in this area too. It's weird. He's like in the Akihabara area. He's like in the anime area, and his stuff is like authentic, like Mediterranean food. So it has nothing to do with Akihabara. It's hilarious. Do Japanese elderly come to what? Do Japanese elderly? You mean are Japanese? I mean, to the Japanese, this is kind of just a subculture to them. I mean, what would be like an example of something like this? Would be like, what's a good analogy? Because it's like, I'm trying to think of like a good example from like, it would be like, okay, you know how in America there's the Marvel movies? So you got the Spider-Man movies, you have the Avengers movies, you have the superheroes. It's kind of like that. The anime characters are kind of like the equivalent of kind of like the comic book heroes in America. It's like the elderly people, they know who Batman is, they know who Spider-Man is, they don't really care. It's the same kind of thing. It's like they see the Love Live girls, and it's like they know who they are, but they don't really care. It's that kind of thing. Or they see, like, well, I don't know about Genshin Impact, because Genshin Impact is not really, it's not Japanese, so I don't really know. They probably see Genshin Impact and they're like, okay, it's just some other random hero, superhero thing or whatever, some video game thing. It's the same thing as, like, video games in America, like, elderly people, they know what video games are. They may or may not even bother with video games. They may know like games from the 1970s, early 80s, mid 80s, maybe possibly, but they don't really. It's just some subculture thing, whatever. That's kind of how they look at it. The elderly play Genshin Impact. Well, they probably do on their cell phone, yeah, because that is a mobile game, and mobile games are really, really popular. Look, this dude right here is probably playing Genshin Impact. He's probably doing his dailies right now. Yes, bring cash. Yes. Yes, you're gonna want to have cash. Although I think a lot of places do accept. Well, you can use credit, like in the big shops like this, they'll accept credit cards. But if you're gonna bring a credit card, make sure you bring a traveler's credit card so you don't get charged with foreign transaction fees every time you use it. So basically, I'm just gonna bring my traveler's credit card and I'm just gonna bring Japanese yen. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like if you have, so I have a Passmo, which I have not used in a long time. I hope my Passmo still works because I can put money on the Passmo. In fact, do I have it with me over here? I don't know where it is right now. But yeah, I have a Passmo. Passmo is an IC card, an integrated circuit card that you can use to ride the train without having to buy train tickets all the time. I'm just going over there. I haven't been there in a while. I know people over there, and yeah, I've been wanting to go back for a long time. It's just the pandemic happened. No one was allowed to go in for like 2.5 years or whatever, and then like I just never got around to it until now. Originally, I was supposed to go there in October of this year, but it got pushed because there's people that are going with me. I'm not the only one going on this trip. There's people that I know that are coming with me, but I'm the only one who has been to Japan previously. Meaning the others that are coming with me, none of them have ever been to Japan before, so this will be their first time going. So I'm kind of like a quasi pseudo tour guide, sort of translator going along for the, well, not going along for the ride because I always intended to go, but I wonder if it's hard to travel around places because they don't speak. Okay, in places like this area that we're looking at, if you don't know any Japanese, it's not a big deal because there's enough English signs. I say that and I literally don't see any English signs. But there's enough English for you to survive in the greater Tokyo area without any Japanese knowledge. However, you're going to have trouble if you need to communicate with local people for whatever reason. Very few Japanese people can speak English, not even fluently, like conversationally. Let's put it that way. So some of them can, and even if some of them would be capable of conversing, they would prefer not to because either they just don't want to be bothered with it or whatever. So, so I guess the general advice that I would give someone who is thinking of going to Japan as a tourist just for vacation, try to learn basic phrases, like how to communicate if you're in the airport. Although you may not even really need to communicate in Japanese in the airport, but like, okay, if you're going into a store or you're going to a restaurant, how to converse at the restaurant, how to converse in a store, like basic things like ikura desu ka, like how much is this, or if it's not easily obvious or whatever. So stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of what I would suggest. Also, like hotel check-in, like understand basic communication for like the hotel. That kind of stuff goes a long way. Yeah, you can use a translation app. I mean, a lot of people do. I personally would use that if I need to read something because you can use Google Translate on your phone to like literally use the camera to look at a sign and it'll translate the sign for you. So, but you could also use it if you needed to converse with somebody in an emergency. So, but in general, I don't know. I'm the type of person like if I want to go somewhere and if the main language is not English, I want to at least know enough of that local language that I come across as somewhat competent. You know, it's not like they're going to think lesser of you if you don't know any Japanese because they understand you're a foreigner, but I don't know. There's this thing where it's like they kind of respect you more if you actually show that there's some form of effort on your part to try to communicate in their language. So they value that. And I think anybody values that from anywhere in the world. Like if, you know, like if you see a tourist in your home country and they're able to converse with somebody in the local language, that is more impressive than if they're just some guy who has no idea what to say and, you know, like they're, you know, panic mode, they're just shouting in whatever their native language is or whatever. And yeah, so, you know, it's kind of like that. Have you ever encountered someone that tried to scam you? Where? In Japan? No. But yeah, all right, let me see. Let's get out of let's go out of Akihabara. Let's go like to a different area. Okay, so Akihabara. Then if you keep going on the train, what is the next stop? Then it goes to Kanda. Kanda is now, I think, entering into Minato. And then after Kanda is Tokyo Station. The big train station. So Tokyo Eki. Let me see, can I get a picture from here? Okay, never mind. So, down here, Tokyo Station is a major junction point. There's a lot of transit trains that go in and out of Tokyo Station. The Chikatetsu, which is the subway. The subway is at Tokyo Station. So it connects to the above. So the subway are the underground trains, and then the trains are the above ground trains. And then you have stuff like the bullet train is also at Tokyo Station. And this is the one that will go over to, I think, the southern part of Japan. I don't know. Maybe it also goes north, but I know Ueno is the one that goes north. So Tokyo Station is a very big, very famous historical train station. It's one of the coolest looking train stations from the outside, especially at night with all the lights. Where did this put me? This put me in like a weird area. Yeah, this is not what I was looking for. So Tokyo Station, if you want to go to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea, the trains that go to Tokyo Disney Sea and Disneyland, which are like somewhere over here, Tokyo Station will go there. Like the train for Disneyland is at Tokyo Station. It'll take you straight there. So that's a big station. Very big station. Very crowded. But not as crowded as another one that we're going to get to. So Tokyo Station, and then it goes down, and then Yurakcho. Wait, they're that close? Oh, wow, they're really close. So all these red or pinkish things on the map are the train stations. So Akihabara was up here. Then we go down. Then there's Kanda, and then Tokyo, which is a really big station, and then Yurakcho. Yurakcho is where Ginza is. Oh, this is Shimbashi, which is also there. Yurakcho is going to also be where, if you're going, I think if you're going to get on the subway to go through the really rich area, like Roppongi and Ginza. Ginza is like a shopping area. It's a very upscale, extremely expensive area. And I can't even imagine how expensive it is for Japanese people because of inflation and because the Japanese yen is so weak right now globally. But yeah, this is like a very upscale area. And then Roppongi is like somewhere in the middle, or over here somewhere. So we have to learn basics of all languages in the world. If you plan to go to all the places in the world, but I don't know of anyone that really wants to go to all the places in the world. Yurakucho. Okay, Ginza. Yeah, that's Ginza. What is this? There's a bunch of train stations around here. Oh, these are subway stations. Yeah, this is the subway station symbol. So these are subway stations. So I don't even know if they're gonna show up if I put the little Google guy down. Maybe. Oh, see? Okay. That symbol, this is the symbol for subway station. So it goes down. It goes down into the abyss. So yeah. Not much to look at. Oh, this is the famous building. This is like a shopping mall. This is an extremely expensive shopping mall. Yeah, this place. I don't know yet. I don't think the plan is to go outside of the Tokyo area. I have been outside of Tokyo before. I have been to Nagoya. I've been to the Osaka area, the Kansai area. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the west side, even though I think there is a lot of interesting stuff to see over there. I don't think I'm going to be there long enough to be able to do a lot of that, though. If I was going to be there for like 2 full weeks, maybe I would do all of that. Or 3 weeks. Really, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're going to go and you want to see like other parts of Japan, you're going to want to be there for a while. So the thing with Tokyo is so big and so crowded and like so jam-packed with stuff to see and do. Like you could literally spend like 2, 3, you can even spend a whole month in Tokyo and you still will not be able to see everything there. It's just because there's just so much stuff and it's so spread out. Would you live there again? Maybe if I didn't have to like work. Japan is a really nice country to visit, and possibly a very good country to live in. It's not a very good country to work in, though. I think it depends on the industry, but in general, I feel like the the work culture there, it's slowly changing, but it's really rough. This is off topic. PS Vita or PSP 3000? PS Vita. PSP 3000 is so old, it just can't even really keep up. PS Vita, you can still actually use it for like web browsing and stuff. And it's not completely terrible. Yeah, PS Vita all the way. Yurakucho, then Shimbashi, which is also another one that goes south. And then Hamamatsucho, Tamachi, and then what is this? What is this station? I don't know what that is. It's probably not even a station. And then where is Shinagawa? Did I just go past it? Shimbashi, Hamamatsucho, Tamachi. This has got to be Shinagawa. Is this Shinagawa? Why does it have this weird thing? Takanawa Gateway Station? What? Wait, this is Shinagawa City. Where is the... It's supposed to be down here somewhere. Oimachi. Where's Shinagawa Station? It's somewhere. It's a very big station. You can't really miss it. Osaki, Gotanda. This is going Meguro. This is going the other way. There, because Ebisu, and then we're gonna hit Shibuya. No, where is Shinagawa? It's like somewhere over here. Oh, it's so big that it was like it doesn't even show up properly on the map. It's this whole yellow thing. Yeah, okay, there it is. There's Shinagawa Eki. This is one of the coolest looking stations on the inside. Doesn't look that great from the outside. It's like, I think of it as the opposite of Tokyo Station. Tokyo Station looks really cool from the outside. Shinagawa Station looks really cool on the inside. It almost feels like you're in an airport because the station's so wide. I just use the stations as landmarks because, like, if you pick any of the stations and you go outside the station, there's just so many random different things to see. So, like, Shinagawa Station, you can walk to the east and you're already, like, you can see the ocean. Or you can see the bay. Yeah, that station is so big that it shows up on the map in a really weird way. I've never seen the stations show up like that. This one. Yeah, it's got some really wide-looking walkways. It almost has this vibe like you're in an airport. It doesn't feel like the other train stations. It has a different kind of vibe. The other thing, too, is all of these stations have their own musical theme. So, this is another cool thing. So, like, when you're on the train, and the train reaches a station, so it stops at a station, if you're not paying attention, like, let's say you're on your phone doing Genshin Impact dailies or something, like, you can listen for the sound, the music that plays. The music will notify you of what station you're at, because all the stations have their own musical theme. Have I ridden the Pikachu train? No. I didn't even know there was such a thing. You were just talking about taking a trip to Japan 30 minutes ago? Now is the time to go because the yen is really weak. So if you're in America at least and you have US dollars, your dollars go very far. So I'll give you an example. Typically, like, if you want to do a quick math in your mind of try to figure out like how much yen is a dollar, like, think of it like 1,000 yen is, rough estimate, $10. But however, because the yen is currently so weak, 1,000 yen is actually more like $6.40. So your $10 will give you way more buying power in Japan than if it was like a one-to-one mapping. So, like, if we take a $10 bill and I don't have any of my Japanese money with me right now, but if we have a $10 bill and a 1,000 yen, 1,000 yen and $10 is kind of equivalent in terms of the bill size. But because the yen is so weak, that 1,000 yen is actually only like $6.40, which means if you bring $10 in yen, that's like way stronger than 1,000 yen. So yeah, exchange rates are really good right now. So if you're coming from America and you're planning on going to Japan, you have a lot of buying power right now. So, yeah, okay, that's a weird picture. I don't know what they're trying to take a picture of. I guess the ceiling. That is, I don't know what train that is. I think, is that the subway train? That looks like the subway train. And then this is this is like the mail service box, post office box. This is from the outside. You can see all the rail stuff. Yeah, Shinagawa. JK20 is here. Oh, this is the blue train. This is the Keihin, not the Yamanote. And then there's this. The sea of people. He was saying don't leave your luggage unattended or something like that on the train. This poor guy trying to go against the flow of traffic. He's like going the opposite way when everyone's flowing that way. But see, can you imagine, like, if you work a regular job, like a regular 9 to 5, having to do this routine every day, like every work day? See, that's why I say Japan is a great country to live in or visit, not that great of a country to actually work in. Because not only do they work insane amount of hours, like look at this. Look at this. Look at that. A sea of people. Wow. Oh, this train is going to Yokohama. And the other one goes, so from Tokyo to Yokohama. If you take the train, make sure... I think that only applies on weekdays at, like, rush hour. I don't think that's not active all the time. Nihongo Jozu. Yeah. Jozu janai. My Japanese is not that good. I mean, it was better. Like, I actually have lost a lot of my Japanese skills, language skills, over the last several years. I was doing a test the other day to figure out how much I retained. I feel like it literally feels like Gohan in the Buu saga. You know how Gohan was stronger in the Cell games than he was during the Babidi and the start of the Majin Buu saga? I feel like I'm the same as Gohan. I was more fluent and more skilled in Japanese 7 years ago, 6-7 years ago, than I am now. Because I've never had to use it. So it's like you use it or lose it. You know, it's that kind of thing when it comes to a second language. So if you never use it, you're going to start forgetting. Especially as someone who never learned it as a child. I feel like if somebody learns 2 languages when they're really, really young, and they get enough exposure and enough repetition when they're a child, even if they never use one of those languages as an adult for years and years and years, they can still retain enough to still at least form complex sentences. Maybe not like college level sentences with very high level vocabulary, but you know, they still retain enough to be able to speak. Like, I think my speaking level of Japanese is like no better than like a second grader, if that. It might even be worse now. So it's like, I have no. Nihongo jozu janai. Definitely not. It's one of those things you just gotta practice at it. You just gotta keep on, like, yeah. What all languages do I know? I really only know, so I know a little bit of Spanish because I had to learn a second language in school. So my second language was technically Spanish, but okay, right now, if I had to measure my Spanish speaking skills versus my Japanese speaking skills, my Japanese skills are significantly better than my Spanish speaking skills. But I know enough Spanish still because I learned it as like a student that I can kind of still understand what people are saying. I may not be able to speak back to them in Spanish, but I can comprehend some of what they're saying in Spanish. So it's It's weird. Like, I wish I would have continued using my Spanish language because I feel like I would actually be able to benefit a lot from knowing Spanish. As someone in the US, knowing Spanish is very valuable. But, yeah, unfortunately, I never really used it. So it's like, yeah. So, yeah. I wish, but wishing is one thing. It's a meme within the Japanese learning community because no matter how good your Japanese is, they will always say, "Oh, well, yeah, I know." Yeah, but realistically, though, no. Like, I'm probably like first grader, second grader at best now. Like, I was better before, but it's like, so I was kind of like somewhere around N4. Upper N4 was as far as I got. I never really, in terms of academic level, Japanese, I never bothered with like N1, N2. Like, that's way, way more time and effort that I couldn't really devote myself to. At least from the formal academic side. So Shinagawa, and then it bends. The train kind of like curves this way, and then Osaki, Gotanda, and then okay, this part of the train I've never actually been on. So one thing that I want to do when I'm there, I actually want to see the south side of Tokyo. I don't know if there's that much interesting things to see unless I go like all the way down to Yokohama. But I've never actually, so Shinagawa Station is as far south as I have ever gone in Tokyo on the east side of Tokyo. I've never been past Shinagawa Station. And I know it loops around here, starts going northwest. I've never been to the area around Osaki or whatever this one was, Gotanda. I've never been over here. And then it goes up this way, Meguro. I've never been there. So those are 3 stations that I've never been to. That's the south side of Tokyo. And then Ebisu also, which is a larger station. They have an entrée there. And then Shibuya. Shibuya is a very famous station. This is where the Hachiko statue is. This is where the famous crossing, known as the Shibuya crossing, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's that famous intersection where all the people... where is it at? Is it this one? Is it this one? No, it's much larger than that. Well, if you guys know the famous Tokyo crossing, it is the Shibuya crossing, where there's like a ton of people. I think it's this one. No, wait, that looks kind of like it, but not really, because it's not supposed to be closed off like that. No. Well, the famous Shibuya crossing is also here. So the Shibuya, this is another very, very famous, very touristy area. Train map were built by slime mold. Yeah, so Shibuya Station, I've been there. So anyway, so this whole area, the half of the train track that connects Shibuya all the way to Shinagawa, I've never been on that part of the loop. I have been on every other part of this loop around the city except the southern tip that runs from Shinagawa, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 stations between Shinagawa and Shibuya. So I've never been on that. So I definitely want to see that part of the city because I've never actually been over there. So that's one area. That's like on the to-do list. Besides go to the micro centers. And then they've got Yoyogi Park. It's a really big park. So anyway, Shibuya, it goes north now. So I think there's, what is this one called? Harajuku Station. That's where like the fashion stuff is. And then you go up. And then, what is this one? Is this Shin Okubo? Yoyogi. Oh yeah, the station's literally called Yoyogi. Okay, so there's Yoyogi Station, and then the biggest, most crowded station in the entire country of Japan I think it is the world's second most crowded station in the world. I think there's a train station in Mexico City that is more crowded than this. But this is literally one of the most crowded stations ever. This is the Shinjuku station. Shinjuku Eki is very big. You can literally get lost in the station. It is so big. There's like multiple levels. There's an entire like internal shopping mall section underneath the station. It's super vast. It is a massive station. And Shinjuku is basically the downtown area. This is where the skyscrapers are. The Twin Towers are in the Shinjuku area. So this is where all the government buildings are. This is like the most like city-looking part of Tokyo that you can get. The Shinjuku station. It is on the west side. Like I said earlier, Tokyo Station is the east side. Shinjuku is the west side. So you can think of it like in The Lord of the Rings, there was the Twin Towers. You had the Tower of Sauron in the land of Mordor. That's like Tokyo Station. But then you have the western tower, like the Tower of Isengard, Saruman's tower. That is the Shinjuku Eki. So that is this one right here. It's big. It is crowded. It's always crowded. Always crowded. Even like late on a weekend night, it's crowded. Well, on a Sunday night, it's still crowded. It's just always crowded. The people, so Shinjuku, the Shinkansen, I believe, is here. That will take you to like Osaka and Nagoya. I think the train to Nagano is over here. I'm not 100% sure on that. Actually, it might be in Ueno. But it basically has like all these connected. It's a massive hub for like all these stations that are both local trains as well as subway trains that they come above ground to get people out in the Shinjuku downtown, or also long haul trains that are going far distances across the country. So you can imagine it is super jam packed, super jam packed. I may try to live stream while I'm there. I don't know if it's going to work because I'll be dependent on the Japanese cell phone companies with the data, my roaming data. So I don't know if it's going to work. But at the very least, I will definitely be uploading YouTube Shorts. So if you are subscribed to the channel, you will probably see my YouTube Shorts videos. So I plan to make a whole bunch of YouTube Shorts. So this will give me an opportunity to really make use of YouTube Shorts because I don't actually upload a lot of Shorts content. So you'll probably see like Shinjuku Short, Tokyo Station. I'll basically do like all the stations and then like stuff outside the stations, like whatever I'm looking at or whatever, you know, like some restaurant or some weird thing or some guy like playing music on a bow saw or something with a violin bow or whatever. You know, there's crazy stuff like that. Whatever's happening. So that's probably what I'll be doing. So Shinjuku is also super crowded because the people who live in the suburbs, they come in to the city at Shinjuku Station. That is why it is another reason why it's super crowded. Because, see, you got all these people that live to the west of the city. So you can see the cities like this. You got all the burbs. You got the suburbs. You got Setagaya, Meguro, Nakano, Nerima. You got all these people that live way over here on the west side, like way west of Tokyo. But if they work in the major part of the city, they all get on the trains, and it's jam-packed trains bringing them all the way from like 45 minutes, an hour out to the west. And they bring those on that hour-long commute into Shinjuku, and they drop them off in this massively crowded station. So you can imagine it's like, yeah, it's a mess. You use SoftBank. I'm just going to roam. I'm just going to bring my phone and just roam. Let it roam. It's probably going to be on Docomo, KDDI, or SoftBank. Any of those. I'm just going to roam and just use the roaming. So, I don't know. If my phone can't handle the antennas, if there's an incompatibility issue, I might get stuck with, like, 3G speeds or something. If that happens, there's going to be no live stream. If that's how that works. So yeah, we'll see. I'll just see how that ends up working. But yeah, I kind of want to see like the suburban areas too. You know, like I want to get out of the city, but not like super out of the city. Like I don't plan on going like to Mount Fuji or somewhere way to the west. Like I don't plan on going over here or anything like that because it's too cold. It's like in the middle of December. It'll be like way too cold. But I do kind of want to look at the west, the suburban areas to see what that's like. I don't think I'm gonna go to Saitama though. Maybe Yokohama. I don't know. Probably need to finish Rise of the Ronin before I go though, so I have an idea of how they looked historically in the Bakumatsu era. What phone do I have? I have the Sony Xperia Mark, or the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, I think. You're staying in Miyoko? Where is that? I don't know where that is. Is that Niigata? Oh, yeah, up there. Okay. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, that's pretty far up. That's on the side facing toward Korea. Fukuoka is actually very close to South Korea. Busan is really close. Like you can literally take a ferry boat across. It's cheap. It's like $150 probably to go to Korea. If I was going to be there for like a month or something, I would definitely go to Korea while I'm there because it's so cheap. It's so cheap to either fly to Korea or just get on a boat and just go across. I'd probably fly. Because I've never been to South Korea, I do kind of want to see South Korea at some point. The place I really want to go to, though, is Taiwan, like at least once. As a tech enthusiast, I feel like a true tech enthusiast needs to at least visit the mecca of technology like once in a lifetime. Taiwan is really close to Okinawa. Okinawa is actually closer to Taiwan than it is to actual Japan. Like the major archipelago. How do you copy disk C to disk D? You need to use cloning software. You can't just copy it in Windows. You actually have to clone the drive if that's what you're if that's what you're trying to do. You need to do a clone. You have to use cloning software like Acronis True Image or Macronym Reflect or Samsung Magician. You did 3 weeks. I am going to be there for, I think, like a little over a week. I wish I was going to be there a little bit longer, but I mean, that was all that I could do right now. So not a whole lot of time, and that's the main reason why it's mainly just going to be the Tokyo area. If I go there again in the future, it will be to see like other areas. It'll be like a lot of backpacking and going across the country. But this time, since I'm going in December, it's cold. The days are really short. The sun will go down really fast. You know, just gonna hang around in the city area mostly. Akakura Onsen. Yeah, I've never actually. So I've been to Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, Nara, like this area right here, and I've also been to Nagoya. You know, a lot of people say, a lot of Japanese people think like Nagoya is kind of boring. If I was actually gonna live in Japan, I probably actually would live in Nagoya. Nagoya is very low key, like more laid back. It's not as crowded as Tokyo. It's in the middle. It's literally in the middle of the country. Well, okay, technically, I guess Tokyo is in the middle of the country if you count Hokkaido. But if you're counting the main island, Nagoya is literally in the middle. It's not too far from the Kansai, the Osaka area. And it's, I mean, you can take Shinkansen to Tokyo to get in and out of the city. So, yeah, man, Nagoya is actually like a really nice area to actually live. Like, it's one thing to visit the country, it's another thing to actually live in the country. And I've been to Nagoya. I kind of think like this is probably one of the better areas to live that I've actually visited. The other one that I hear a lot of people talk about, but I've never been there, is Fukuoka. Fukuoka is also another really nice place to live if you actually want to live in Japan rather than actually just visit Japan. But yeah, I've never been to this area, like Fukuoka, Kita, Kyushu. I've never been in these areas. I've only been in the Kansai and Nagoya and Tokyo. And I've never been up north. I've never been to like Sendai or where the nuclear disaster was in Iwate. Never been up here. I've never been to Hokkaido where Sapporo is. I've never been up there. I know people that lived up there, but I've never actually been there myself. So yeah. But yeah, if you have a chance to go somewhere overseas and you've never really been, like, my advice, just do it. Just plan on making it a life goal. You won't regret it. It's one of those things where you're probably more likely to regret. Like if it ever crossed your mind of wanting to travel to a foreign country at least once in your lifetime, you want to do it. You need to do it. It's one of those things where it's like if you have the means to do it, you should do it because you'll only regret once you're older and it's like life gets in the way and then it's harder for you to travel. So, yeah, man, definitely. You would like to go there another time of the year? Not to go snowboarding. Oh, you're talking about Osaka? Yeah, this area is actually really nice. I don't know. I personally like. See, the thing is, it's definitely one of those things where I feel like I didn't like. So the thing I didn't like about Osaka was I didn't like the train system. The train system in this area is so much more. It's not that it's disorganized. It's just way more like. I don't know how to explain it. Tokyo is just so much more routine, orderly in the sense that everything is just automatic because it's a loop and you just know where things are on the loop and you can't really get lost because of that. Osaka, it's more kind of like chaotically spread out. Like the train system is just kind of like there's so many different colored train lines because they have the pink train, they have the red one, the green one, the blue one, and it's like you have to know which one. There's like private owned ones versus the JR ones. In Tokyo, you don't actually need to ride any of the private trains. You just take the public JR lines everywhere. Whereas in Osaka, there are JR for most of the major areas, but then there's like all these other random other trains and stuff. That was the one thing that I didn't like about it. Although I guess I wasn't there long enough to really get used to it. I was only there for like a week. But it's definitely also if you're more interested in the historical stuff, like you want to go see like shrines and castles, although you can see stuff like that in Tokyo, the Osaka area has way more of that because of Kyoto, because Kyoto is so close to it. It's just to the northeast of it. So it's almost like Osaka, Kyoto, and Nara and Kobe are all kind of like mixed, like right in close proximity to each other. So it's like this one giant city, but it's actually like 4 or more large cities, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like that, whereas Tokyo is just basically Tokyo, and Tokyo is so big that they had to break it up into all these different wards that are arranged around this giant circle that goes around the city. It's 11-hour direct flight from here. What country are you located in? 11 hours is far though. That's a long. That's almost like U.S. flight time. You're talking about so like the flight from the U.S. Oh, you're way down. Okay, yeah, that's. You know what? What's funny is that's pretty much the same from America. Yeah, Perth is like over here. Yeah, I know where that is. It's like right over here. So you're on the west side. You're on the Indian Ocean side. Because Adelaide is facing the Southern Ocean, and then Sydney is on the Pacific side, and Brisbane. So yeah, I know where that is. So that 11 hours though. You know what? That's almost the same amount of time that it takes to fly from America to Japan. America's a little bit longer. America, depending on where you are in America, it's either going to be like 12 hours to 14 hours to fly into Tokyo. Your hometown is Vietnam. The average flight from Houston to Vietnam is like 16 hours. Yeah. Well, is there a direct flight, though, from Houston all the way to, like, Ho Chi Minh or somewhere over there? Ho Chi Minh is, yeah, like this. I don't even know if there's a direct flight, though. 16 hours doesn't sound like a direct flight. Is it direct? Yeah. So, if you're in Perth, like, how long does it take you to fly to Jakarta? Like, if you were gonna fly to Indonesia's Jakarta, or if you were gonna fly to, like, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, or Singapore, how long would that flight be? Because I feel like for Australia, it's not too hard to get into, like, Malaysia or Indonesia or the Philippines. Like, these areas are pretty close by. About 6 hours. 6 hours to where? To which one? Oh, so 6 to Singapore. Wow, man, that is pretty far. Wait, that's 6? So then Japan is like 11? Interesting. Because Japan looks like it's much further away. Interesting. Oh, there's 6.5 from Singapore to Japan. Yeah, I heard it's like 6 hours. Yeah. Now those are places that I haven't been to in a long time. And I was thinking it's been a long time since I've been in Japan. It has been a long time since I've been in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is even further back in time for me. And Singapore, man, it's been a long time since I've been there. That's another place I want to go back and see at least one more time. Yeah, I've never been to Thailand. I've never been to Indonesia or the Philippines. I've been to Singapore. I've been to Kuala Lumpur. I have been to Hong Kong. I've never been to Vietnam. I've never been to Korea or Taiwan or China. Well, I guess technically, I guess Hong Kong kind of counts, but not exactly. It's not. It doesn't have the same vibe as the rest of China. You were in Singapore this year? Man, I haven't been in Singapore in a long time. Now that's a place that I haven't. That's a name. It's almost like that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Singapore. Singapore. Yeah, yeah, that's another place I want to visit again. Singapore is nice. I mean, it is tropical, humid, but it is nice. It is clean. It is orderly. It's actually kind of like Japan, only not really. But you know what I mean? It's people speak English in Singapore. Let's put it that way. so, so, and I think Singapore's currency is also pretty strong, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Singapore is nice, man. This is the nice. This is like the high living right here. I picked some random spot. Look how clean it looks. These people are literally on a smoke break. And look at how clean the area looks. I just picked some random spot. Some random area. Oh man, now I gotta plan another trip to go over here too. Look how nice this place looks. Just this random office building area. Labrador Park. It's like a rich man's paradise. Wait, which one? Singapore? Dude, Royal Plaza on the Scots. Royal Plaza on the Scots. That is a nice hotel. The Royal Plaza. This is a place I haven't been to in a long time, though. Everything. Look at how, like... Look, I'm always amazed at how clean everything looks. Low-key looks like the US, but way better. Yeah, I can see that. I can kind of see that comparison. Yeah. English. You don't have to go out of your way to learn a foreign language just to like get around. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this makes me curious now. So for people from Australia, like what is the most common countries? Like what are the most common countries that Australians visit? Like I would assume Singapore is probably pretty high on the list. The girl with the motorbike. So much green. You can sense the tropical weather just by how green everything is. Thailand and Singapore. Oh, New Zealand. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand is another place that I would like to visit too at some point. If I need to make like a list of like the top 10 countries that I want to visit in my lifetime. New Zealand was one of them, although it's like I don't know how high up on the list New Zealand will be. I've heard that New Zealand is it's like a beautiful country. I know like New Zealand is where they filmed Lord of the Rings. And the backdrops, the ice mountains, like all that stuff, it's so cool looking. Like New Zealand is great if you're someone who likes to do stuff outdoors. I feel like if you want to do like hiking and stuff, New Zealand is great. You know what's another really good place? Like if you want to do like scuba diving or snorkeling, Iceland. Although they've got a lot of tectonic volcanic activity, Iceland is another really good one. In terms of like an island nation. Like, we're talking about places in the Pacific, but if you want a place in the Atlantic Ocean on the east side of the globe, or the west side of the globe, I gotta think about that. I guess the west side of the globe, yeah, Western Hemisphere. The Iceland nation is very good too. If you're someone who likes like snorkeling, scuba diving, Iceland with the I forget what they call it. It's like the geysers, not geysers, but it's just a really good tourist destination for that stuff. You drove around the mountains on the South Island, man. Yeah, man. I've heard a lot. I know people that visited New Zealand, and they only have good stuff to say about it. And that's why I've always thought about going there myself at some point. Come to Brazil. What would you recommend for Brazil, though? Because I know, so Brazil, the northern part of Brazil is a rainforest, And then you have the southern part, which is like, I don't know, it's like dry, it's arid. Country tier list, please? Nah, dude. I think that's gonna be way too controversial. If I do a country tier list, that's gonna be super controversial. Because I don't even know how to be objective on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cut and dry like motherboards. Motherboards is like, this motherboard has this feature, this motherboard does not have this feature, but this motherboard is like $100 less than this motherboard. Like, you can't really do that with countries because countries are like way too different, way too diverse. The cultural aspects. I don't even know how to. You can't really grade that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're buying a product. You can't just buy a country. It's like I don't even know. Yeah, Japan is S tier. The South is probably the best region for tourists, especially if your home country is really cold. Yeah, because I know like Argentina can get really cold, and Argentina also has all those tourists that want to go see Antarctica. You know what I'm saying? So like here, let's zoom out here. Let's go look at South America real quick. So yeah, the southern part of Brazil can get really cold. But Argentina can get even colder because Argentina is even further south. So what I know about Argentina is they've got these, they do like these tour guide things where foreigners will fly into Argentina and they'll get on this boat or whatever and it'll go down to Antarctica. So they can go and visit the South, not the South Pole, but they can go to see Antarctica and the penguins. I know that's a thing that people do. I don't think Brazil has that, but I know Argentina has that. Probably like 2 years. At least a year. And the thing is, I gotta plan it out. Because I tend to go with other people. You don't get the whole go to Italy and stare at walls thing. Yeah, it depends on what you like, though. I think Europe has a lot of fascinating things to see. My impression of the European countries is that there's a lot of cool stuff to see. I don't know how much cool stuff there is to actually do, though. I mean, I guess in, like, Switzerland, you can go skiing, you can go snowboarding in the Alps, if you're into that kind of thing. But I don't know what, like, if I were to go to, like, Germany or Italy, besides eating the local food and stuff, I don't really know what else I would do. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of... Because they don't have... Like, Tokyo and a lot of these other places, they've got, like, all this random stuff, like the Owl Cafe, the Cat Cafe. They have weird, like, unique stuff. And they've got, like... They even have their own Disneyland and Disney Sea, if you're into, like, the Disneyland stuff. So they've got like all this touristy and not even just tourist things for the local Japanese people to go on vacation to do. I don't really know what there is to do. Maybe it's just my lack of knowledge on stuff in the European countries. I think there's a lot of stuff to see though in the European countries. Like probably even the Eastern European countries though. Like the Eastern European countries that like Western countries, like America doesn't really get that much exposure to the Eastern European countries, like Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece. You know, like the former Yugoslavia nations, like Kosovo and Serbia. These guys right here, down here. We don't really know much about it because no one really talks about these countries. But I feel like these countries would be really, really interesting to explore as well. Like Greece, for example, Hungary, Slovakia, maybe Austria. Once you're on like this side, then you're kind of like Western Europe. So this is like way more. There's a lot more familiarity here with like France, Spain, England, or the United Kingdom, Ireland, Italy, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Netherlands, Denmark, all that stuff. And then the Norwegian countries. like Norway, Sweden, Finland. I feel like the average American gets more exposure to the Scandinavian countries and the Western European countries than like the Eastern half. Like the former Soviet Union countries, like there's like no one ever talks about these, like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. You know, the one thing that I think made people pay attention to these, at least temporarily, was the Chernobyl miniseries. Now that sounds like a meme saying that, but it's true. I feel like after the Chernobyl miniseries came out, I think a lot of Americans actually like started researching places like Lithuania and Latvia and Belarus, and they started reading up on that, and Ukraine. Well, obviously, like the whole thing with Ukraine right now, but I'm saying like before the situation in Ukraine, like when that miniseries came out, a lot of Americans started paying attention to like Eastern Europe. And then it's pretty much even less the further east you go, you know, like Russia and all this other stuff. Like the average American probably doesn't even know where Azerbaijan even is. Like if you ask an American to locate Azerbaijan on a blank globe or like a blank map, good luck to that American who's trying to like show you where Azerbaijan is. You know, or even Turkey or Syria or even Iran. You know, like I'm not making this up. You'd be surprised. Like I guess one of the stereotypes of Americans is like they don't know where anything else is outside of America. Don't talk about the average American. I'm not saying all Americans are like that, but there's a good chunk of them that are, where it's become like a running joke where Americans don't really know geography outside of their own country. You know, like especially like these countries, like the African countries and the Middle Eastern countries are the ones where I think like the average American, good luck trying to see if they can show you where, you know, where Sudan is, for example, or Ethiopia, or Namibia. Heck, maybe even South Africa. Oh, that's probably an easy one. So I think my weak area is going to be definitely like the middle section of Africa. So like the jungle part of Africa, like the areas, the countries around the Democratic Republic of the Congo, I will struggle with these countries. Like the ones that are in here, Gabon, whatever that is. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's probably like a French name or something. See, like these I don't really know that well. Like I know Rwanda is near Lake Victoria. I don't really know where exactly, in what direction, unless I'm looking at the map. But yeah, the African countries, the northern ones I know, like the northern African countries, like Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, I know where those are, but it's like I start like the ones over here that have like the jungle, the rainforest areas, like I don't know where these are without looking at a map. That's my weak area of geography, is like the inner African countries that are in the jungle region. And then cuz I know where the south ones and the north ones are, I don't know the central ones. And then I guess the Middle East, I know a lot of them. Like I know most of them. I think the ones that I always get mixed up are Yemen and well, I always forget that Yemen is down here. I always think that Yemen is like some small nation over here on this side, which is definitely wrong. But like I know where Uzbekistan is, I know where Afghanistan is, Tajikistan, Pakistan, India, Iran. I know where all those are. Iraq. And then like the parts east of India, like Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. I know all of those. It's just like the Central Africa is the one that I really struggle with. Dubai. Yeah, Dubai, the UAE. Yeah, that's in UAE. Yeah, I know where that is. That's on the Persian Gulf. Yeah, Qatar. Yeah. Those are some really ritzy, rich-looking cities. Never go to Thailand? Yeah, that's a country. I haven't been to a lot of the countries in like Southeast Asia. You will never come back? What? Do you swim if you visit an island? I mean, it kind of depends on where it is, right? Like, I'm not gonna like swim in, like Antarctica. Try to find Bahrain. Bahrain? Is that a city or is that a country? Bahrain. Oh, it's an island country? Oh, this better not be like some tiny little island in the middle of nowhere. Bahrain. Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound like a Polynesian island. What is this? That has a really weird looking tree. That is a weird looking tree. Next to Saudi Arabia? Is it in the Red Sea? Yeah, I don't know where it is. Oh, right there, next to Qatar. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of like that one country that's like on the Malaysian island. I think it's called Brunei. It's kind of like that, except this is on its own island. Yeah, that's another one though. Like there's a lot of like island nations. You know, like especially if you look in the West, like in the Pacific, the South Pacific has so many of these little islands. Like Tonga, Tahiti, Fiji, the Samoan Islands, the Cook Islands. There's like all these little tiny ones that barely even show up on the map. That they're like little like strips of land. There's an airport at this one. Makemo Airport. French Polynesia. Yeah, there's Fiji. Fiji's actually a pretty large island. Tonga is way smaller. Tahiti. The Solomon Islands. Everything is 50% cheaper. What are we talking about? Grande Santa Cruz Island. Retire in Philippines. Everything is 50%. Wait, everything is 50% cheaper in the Philippines? Filipino pesos? So wait a minute. What if it was like a Japanese person going to the Philippines? So, like, okay, here's one video that I found. Speaking of the Philippines, So this guy is backpacking to the Philippines. He's leaving Japan to go visit the Philippines. But you're telling me that everything in the Philippines is 50% cheaper. And the Japanese yen is pretty weak right now. I like how that bus behind him says Texas. That's really weird. It looks like it's saying Texas on the back of that bus. But, your dad lives in Cebu? Wait, so hold up. So if everything is 50% cheaper, you're saying 1 liter beer is €1? Dang, that is cheap. What? So I'm wondering, like, for a Japanese person, you know what I'm saying? If in Japan right now the Japanese yen is weak, if they go to the Philippines, because everything is so cheap in the Philippines, like, is it easier for them?
今日は日本を出ます。
He's leaving Japan.
はい。日本を出て、今日はフィリピンに行きます。
Philippines. He's going to the Philippines.
フィリピンのマニラに行きたいと思います。
He's going to the Manila, a place called Manila.
歩いて近くの駅まで向かっています。まあでも
I want to say something. As somebody who needs to get back into the swing of understanding Japanese and speaking Japanese before I go over there, videos like this are very, very good practice. These are very valuable videos in helping someone get up to speed on the language. I can actually understand what he's saying, and I can read the subtitles. So I know enough Japanese that I can actually read those subtitles on the screen, and that actually helps me. Reading the subtitles and mapping them to his words really helps refresh my language ability. But this guy's going to the Philippines, so.
なんで今午前7時ですよ。朝7時。うん。そう、ちょっと早く起きて飛行機に乗らなければいけません。マニラに1週間ぐらいいるつもり。
He's going to be in a place called Manila for 1 week. About 1 week, he says.
です。そう、まあ実はフィリピンには行ったことがあるんですけど、そうですね。
The only thing you can read is the top left corner on the way there.
なんかボラカイ島っていう島、なんかリゾートに行きました。
Okay, so he's talking about some kind of island. There's an island called Boracay Island. なんか risotto. He's gonna go to a resort. Or he went to a resort? He went to a resort on Boracay Island. でもなんか but フィリピンの
でもなんかフィリピンのその町に行ったことがなくて、フィリピンのその本当のなんだろうリゾートとは違う、毎日のみんなの地元の人の生活とかを見たくて、はい行こうと思いました。
Manila is the capital of the Philippines, Luzon Island.
いや、そう楽しみですよ。なんかもう日本に帰って1年ぐらい今ずっと日本にいるんですけど。
Okay, he's saying that he has been back in Japan for about a year now. So this guy, I'm guessing from the context of what he's saying, he's someone who likes to travel to other countries. And he's been in Japan for about a year, so he hasn't gone out of the country in a while. But he says going to the Philippines is probably going to be really fun. He says, Tanoshimi desu yo. So it's going to be fun. Nanka mo. Nanka mo is like, well, it's like kind of like, it's funny, it's interesting hearing Japanese people, how they say and it's different from like the way an English speaker would do it.
帰ってから初めて外国に行きます。そうだからね楽しみですね。で私の妻のバレちゃんは今日は一緒に行きません。私は一人で行きます。そう妻はまあ日本語学校やアルバイトがあってちょっと休みを取るのが難しかったので、はい、一人で行くことにしました。でもまあいいですね。1週間だけそうフィリピンで またいろいろな
You did a 120 days in Manila. How much did that cost? 120 days?
向かいます皆さん
Wait, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. Actually, I don't have to turn it down. It's not that loud. How? Okay. Pizza's like 3.5 euros.
関西空港に行きたいんですけど何回はい
On sale, 8 euro pieces is going crazy.
何回電車ありがとうございますすみませんじゃあ一回ここから出てからまたわかりました
They're all going to the Philippines. Oh no, they're just going to the airport. Domestic, international. He's in a Sukiya. Sukiya is basically like a Japanese McDonald's. It's like a fast food beef bowl ramen joint.
空港の中にあるすき家に来ました見てください
He's saying he's in the Sukiya. Yeah, there's his fast food. That's Japanese fast
ちょっと
food.
早く来すぎてしまいましたいやでもなんかいつもその国際線に乗るときいつもなんかすごい早く来てしまいますなんか怖いですよねそう乗り遅れるのが怖いんで
Which one is the worst for your
ちょっ
health?
と早く来てしまいます
Oh, you're talking like the fast
だから
food?
今日は4時間
Well,
前
okay, it's like American fast food is extremely salty with it's sodium loaded and it has a lot of like saturated fat. Japanese fast food just has a ton of sodium. Like it's so much sodium.
来てしまいました
So it tastes so good 'cause it's so salt ridden.
はいすき家の店の中にいますはいちょっと朝早かったので今から
So take your pick: diabetes and high blood pressure, or high blood pressure and then also hypertension with high blood pressure. It's like take your pick between those two.
ちょっと早い昼ご飯を食べて、チェックインをしてそうあとスナックも買いましたこんななんかプロテインスナックと
Protein snack.
おにぎり飛行機の中で食べられるものを買いましただからね、まあ、でも早く来てよかったですねそのいろいろ準備ができて慌てなくていいので
慌てる
はい、よかったです、さあ日本を出る前に最後に日本のすき家を食べて
If I die, I die.
行きたいと思います
So in Japan, they don't offer big jugs of soda. Well, no, they do, but okay, not like the American size.
では皆さんまた後で
You gain 10 kilos in the Philippines.
はい皆さん今そうチェックインしたんですけど飛行機が遅れているみたいです
Okay, he said that he went through the check-in. So he's checked in, so he's now on the other side of the airport where the planes are. But he found out as he got through that his flight is like delayed or something. Oh, it actually says it up there. But yeah, his flight got delayed.
はいそうだから結構多分待たなきゃいけませんねはいそうなので今ちょっとマクドナルドに
He's in McDonald's. He's in McDonald's? Wait, now he's eating... Hold up. He was in a Japanese fast food restaurant. Now he's in American fast food restaurant.
仕事をしようと思います仕事を
In Japan, it's called McDonald's.
して飛行機を待ちますはい
He's in McDonald's.
いや、まあ
Didn't he just eat?
そうなんか台風も来ていたので
Oh, he's probably just like squatting in the McDonald's while
遅れたの
waiting.
かなと思いますけどはいちょっとここで待ちますはい皆さん今チェックインをしましたでもちょっと今チェックインをしてその空港の中に入ったんですけど
Man, these type of videos are actually really, really good for helping you learn. This is such a good video for learning.
ここのラーメン屋がなんか和牛ラーメン
Wagyu ramen.
そうなんかこん
So
な
it's like a
に
type of beef.
前に関西空港に来た時はこんなに綺麗じゃなかった気がしますけどはい、うわすごい美味しそう
Man, lots of like Chinese people too. I can hear the Chinese people.
うわすごい
Japanese and
結構
Chinese
高い
people also. The Chinese
多分
tourists. Probably Chinese
韓国
tourists
のラーメンと同じぐら
also.
いの値段ですねまあ空港ですからね
The Philippines has a
でもこんなに
beer
昔
brand
暖かく
called
なかっ
Red
たと思い
Horse.
ます。
It
い
has
や
7%.
ーインフレー
It
ションです
cured
ね。
your Asian beer allergy.
そうここの
What is Asian beer allergy?
なんかアニ
What
メ
is
ス
I
トア
don't even know what
何
that
これ
is. I didn't even know that was
ポ
a
ケモン
thing.
とかねガンダムとかいろいろなものが売ってます。なんかちょっと小さいショッピングモールみたいです。なんか他の空港と違いますね。関西空港面白い。何があるのかな他に。そうだからそう
After eating 60 pizzas, you gain 10 kilos.
なんかパスポートをチェックしてそのゲートのところまで来ても
10 kilos is a lot of
関西
weight,
空港には
though. I mean, that's more than like 10 pounds.
オプションがありますよ。いろいろなんか食べられるオプションがあります。あとお土産もたくさん買えま
I
す
mean,
から
that is
まあ
pretty
心配しないで
significant weight
入
gain.
ってもいいと思いますよ。そうで空港の中でこんな自動販売機もあるので飲み物
Oh,
も買え
he's
る
at
し
Kicks.
食べ物も
He's
買
at
え
the.
るし
Okay, yeah, yeah. This is the
Hi.
Osaka airport.
本当に便利だと思います。わあすごいな。
The last time I was in this airport was
ゲートが
2016.
11番なの
It's been a
で
while. It's been like, what, 8 years?
に乗らなきゃいけないのかな。よしちょっと複雑だね。さあ行きたいと思います。まあでもはい、飛行機に乗るときはいつも早く来た方がい
Let
い
me
です
see.
ね。
How long is this video? The video's like 20 minutes
時間があ
long.
ったら
Hold
リ
on,
ラックス
let's
できるし
Okay, I want to skip to the part where he's in the Philippines, actually.
焦りますよね本当に。
Let's see, Philippines. Okay, okay, he's in the taxi.
渋滞がすごい。
Okay, he's in like an Uber or a taxi or
今
something.
タクシーを待っていたら2人のフィリピン人がすっごいペラペラな日本語で
Whoa, okay, he is saying that it's amazing that a lot of the Filipinos are quickly able to start talking to him in Japanese. So he's saying that he's impressed that a lot of the Filipinos that he's come across so far can speak Japanese to him. At least like basic, they can just start up the conversation in Japanese.
でびっくりしました。はいすごい。
Can I install it into my new PC and choose it as a boot drive? Take out your old one. Disconnect the old drive and just run with the new one.
いや面白いね。
So you don't even have to bother choosing the
ま
boot
ずはホテ
order.
ルにちょっとチェックインして、ちょっと出かけたいですね。せっかくなので。
They speak better English than we do.
じゃあ今からタクシーで行きたいと思います。はい、
Wait,
皆さん
the Philippine?
今今日泊まるホステルに来ましたよ。やっとチェックインできました。いやーこんなホステルすごい。ここ見て仕事
He's
がで
staying
き
in
る。
a hostel. He's saying there's a work area right there. If someone wants to do some work,
い
they
や
can sit
楽
there
し
and
み。
do
でもベ
work.
ッド結構快適そうでなんかすごい良さそうな感じです。
The
今なんか
bed is
ここで
really
人は
comfortable.
なんかフィリピン料理をみんなで食べてました。
People are eating
ちょっと
Philippine
今日は間に合わな
cuisine.
かったんですけどまた
That's Filipino food over there.
みんなで食べたいと思います。はい、まあでもここ
He,
でまたいろ
right
いろな
now,
人と、
everybody wants to
ね
eat. Everyone who just showed up or like from outside or whatever.
友達作って
He's gonna try to make
ちょ
some
っと楽しみたい
friends.
と思いますよ。
He's trying to have a
は
lot
い、
of
皆さん
fun.
今日はもう夜なので今から何か食べて何か
What is there to eat tonight?
はいもうちょっと
Oh, he wants to go look for street
昼
food.
から何も食べていないのでお腹が空いたので何か食べたいと思います。ちょっとローカルの食べ物を食べたいですね。シューマイみたい。面白い。
Oh, what's this? Filipino food.
美味しそうだ。
Ego. English.
すごいいろいろ。今私がいるところがマカティという
Makati.
エリアです。
Makati is some kind of like street area
いつも
in Manila.
そのアジアの屋台の食べ物が大好きなんですよね。
He said he likes eating from these Asian food stalls. It's funny hearing a Japanese person refer to these things as Asian food stalls.
私は屋台で食べます。なんだこれ。 ろいろありますね。
Wait, you've been here? You've been to Manila? Or this part of Manila? Makati Street or whatever?
これはなんだ？
He's like, what is
シ
it?
ューマイみたいなのが結構
Shumai? It looks like shumai.
人気なのかな。すごい。
It looks like a popular Japanese food.
Delicious?
Yeah, bro, delicious.
Delicious. How much this?
Super delicious. Yes, bro.
How much? How much is this?
Oh, he's speaking to them in an English. The guy spoke back to him a little bit of English, but then he asked the lady to the next to him what he was saying, and I think she translated into, what is the Philippine language? Is Tagalog? Tagalog? Is that what it's called? I forget the name of the native Philippine language. Tagalog?
435.
Huh?
Oh dang, that is cheap. The meal is 60 cents? It's like, how much? How much is this? 35? Tagalog, okay.
35.
35?
35, is that Filipino pesos? Philippine pesos? You can feed a whole family with $1? Yeah, pretty much.
Beef?
No, pork.
Pork. Ah, okay. With rice?
35 na rice.
Huh?
35 no rice.
35 no rice.
With rice.
With rice?
With rice 50.
50?
Okay, 85 cents for the whole thing, for like rice and the meat. Bisaya Islands.
Ah, okay. Okay. じゃあちょっと食べてみま
He's
す。
a superstar
He's a superstar in the Philippines?
here in the Philippines.
Okay. Superstar? You are superstar? You are superstar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Basketball player.
すごい。
That guy's name is Kobe Bryant? What?
すごいね。日本人です。私は日本人。
He's telling them he's saying Nihonjin. He's saying I'm a Japanese. 私は日本人. As if they know what he's saying. He just busts out in Japanese to them.
I'm Japanese.
Oh, then he says in English because he's like, it doesn't know. What is this guy on the left doing?
私は
Came from Japan. よろしく。お、すごい日本語。You can speak Japanese. すごい屋台の食べ物。みんなめっちゃフレンドリーですね。これ This one? For me?
I like how this word right here, this word here on the left, on the right, friendly, friendly, friendly. めっちゃフレンドリーですね。フレンドリー。
めっちゃ楽しみ。This and this?
Yeah.
ああ、Thank you。ちょっと待ってください皆さん。今からお金を
What's
払い
your
ま
page,
す。
bro? What's your page?
Japanese with Shun. Japanese with Shun.
Japanese with shoe.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You find me? Did you find me?
Oh, yeah.
You find me?
Man, so this is what it's like in the
なん
Philippines.
か日本の
The
食べ物
food,
にちょっと
the
似
food
て
is
る
cheap.
ものを買いました。
Man, he must be surprised because right now Japan is suffering from like inflation and a weak yen, but to him, like, man, Philippines is like still so cheap. Wow.
いただきます。
Friendly.
美味しい。日本のシューマイ食べたことありますか？日本のシューマイみたいな味。豚肉が入ってます。とお米。
The Philippines is Americanized.
こんな感じ。いやいいね。こういう地元の食べ物がやっぱ一番いいですよ。大好き。今日本にあまりありませんからね。うまい。美味しい。
Spicy?
スパイシー。
Yeah, we're a fan of Naruto also.
ナルト
Yeah.
You love
Naruto.
Naruto, Jujutsu,
Kimi no Nawa?
Kaisen,
All of the anime.
your name, Kimi no Nawa. Kimi no Nawa.
あ、君の名は君の名は
Kimi no Nawa? What? The Filipino people are speaking to him in English, then they like all the
How
anime.
was it?
美味しい Very good but so spicy おお美味しいめっちゃ辛い
Nande.
なんで
Man, wait, hold on. There was a subway behind him. Subway.
Nande.
The subway. There's literally Subway right there. The American fast food chain, Subway, is in the. I didn't know they were in the Philippines. They are in Japan, though.
なんで
Nande.
美味しい Did you play basketball before?
Yes, bro. Right, before.
You just came
Six-star player.
Huh?
This guy, he's a star player.
What? He's a superstar. Maybe all of you. His name is Kobe Bryant. What?
All good at playing
Why are they all pointing at each other? That's so weird. Look at that. Why are they all pointing? Why are they pointing at different people? Like, they're all pointing at different ones. He's pointing at him. He's pointing at him. The other guy was pointing at them.
Six-star player.
This guy, he's a star player.
What is this? What's with the pointing? Why are they all pointing at different people? What?
all good at playing
Yeah, but he's our superstar.
Maybe all of you
His name is Kobe Bryant.
Maybe you are superstar Maybe you are
He's
superstar
only superstar in your team, bro.
みんなめっちゃフレンドリー
Friendly. みんなめっちゃフレ
大き
ンドリ
いゴキブリがいますゴキブリめっちゃ大きい
there's a roach. He's like, there's a roach.
でもいますよねゴキブリは日本にもいますからねこんな暑い国は
Oh, he is saying that it is surprising. It's hotter here. It's like humid and hot compared to Japan, even though it's November. So I mean that makes sense because the Philippines is closer to the equator. It's further south.
ゴキブリが大好きな天気
It's a warm country.
OK ちょっとじゃあこれテイクアウトします僕テイクアウトしますちょっと暑いでも食べられてよかった食べれて
Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Okay, that was a pretty good video. Yeah, I kind of think like, so he went to the Manila. Yeah, that would be an interesting one also. But I need to go to Taiwan before I go to the Philippines. I just really need to go to Taiwan at some point. Yeah, that is actually pretty far south. Because the equator passes through Malaysia. So the Philippines is definitely really close to the equator. It's kind of like the northern part of South America. Or it's like, in terms of the latitude, the Philippines lines up with Costa Rica and Nicaragua and Panama. So those like Central American countries, yeah, that is further south than Florida. So that, Florida actually, that's interesting. So it's really that far south. Yeah, I think I had a cousin who went to the Philippines a while back, and he said it was actually really like friendly to tourist type area or a country, I guess, compared to some of the other places. But yeah, okay, that's an interesting one. Yeah, man, food is cheap though. Wow. You can do island hopping. I think Philippines has a ton of islands too. Yeah. You recently picked up the G-Skill Trident Z5 6400 for the 9950X. And it was literally plug and play on the MSI Ace. Yeah. Yeah, you don't really have to. I mean, it should just automatically work. It was Spain, so did take over the Philippines. Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's why. Well, see, the thing with the Philippines is what I always wonder about Philippines is like what is like a traditional name, like a Philippine name, because when you see like the Filipino names, they always have like almost like Spanish names, like Cruz. What is like an actual traditional Philippine name? That's what I've always wondered. I mean, America is kind of similar to Europe, but not really. I mean, I've been to, well, I have not been to that many parts of Europe. I've only really ever been to the UK. Well, not really even the UK. Like, I've been to Ireland. I'm trying to think, where have I been in Europe besides Ireland? Was it just Ireland? I guess I've only been to Ireland. Yeah. I've been to Dublin. Or Dublin. So this place is the only place in Europe that I've ever been to. And that was a while back. So I kind of want to go see either the Scandinavian countries like Norway and Sweden, or the central, like Western Europe or something. Like, I don't know. I don't really know exactly what I would do there. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of stuff to see. I don't know what there is to do in the European countries. But like, I've only ever been to Ireland, and Ireland is not exactly I mean, it's a European country, but because it's an island nation, I think it's significantly different in a lot of ways than the actual mainland of Europe. So, Iceland is another one that I think would be really interesting to see. You want to pick up a second? You really want to do 192 at 192? I do not recommend 192 at 6,000. First of all, it's very hard to do without manual timing. You basically, it won't work without manual timing. You have to do manual timing. And even then, like if you use S3 sleep, it will, or it may not work properly all the time. That being said, I believe with a good motherboard like the Ace, you should be able to do 5600, 192 gigabytes at 5600 without too much trouble, although I think it's still going to require some manual tuning for the impedance values. 6000 will work, but it will require a lot of trial and error and a lot of manual adjustments to the impedance values, to the point where I don't really recommend 6000 with that much RAM. I definitely recommend more like 5200, maybe 5600. So it's like, unless you really, really need that much RAM, I don't really recommend it. You're much better off with the plug and play 96 gigabytes. You wish South America was safer? I think it kind of depends on the area. I think it really depends on the area. I think there are safe, quote-unquote, safe areas within the South American countries, although some of them probably not so much compared to others. Like, I think, isn't Peru relatively stable? Brazil is pretty stable as far as I know. Obviously, like, some of these other ones up north have some problems with their governments, but I think for the most part there's safe areas. I forget where that one area in Peru that like all the Japanese people go to is. I forgot what it's called. I'd have to go back and look, but yeah, there's some certain areas. You'll take 5600. Again, it's still gonna require some manual tuning. If you use S3 Sleep. The other thing, too, is I want to point out one thing about 4 sticks of memory, especially that much memory. The training times, the time it takes to train DDR5 with 4 sticks of memory, especially when you're doing dual rank. So especially if it's 128 gigabytes or 192 gigabytes, the training time is pretty long. So you're going to have to sit there and wait for the code 15 for several minutes. So it's not like a thing where it's like you just put it in and it's like, oh, it's going to take like a minute. No, it's going to take way more than a minute. It could take more than 4 minutes. It could even take more than 5 minutes. So that's another reason why 4 sticks of memory is kind of like, if somebody really, really wanted 4 sticks of memory just because they like the look of it, I would strongly recommend single rank DIMMs for like 6,000, because you can do 96 gigabytes across 4 24 gigabyte sticks at 6,000. That will work, but you know, once you go up to dual rank, which is 128 or 192, things get a lot more challenging. And the amount of time it takes to train is so long comparatively that I don't know if it's really worth it unless you really, really need that much RAM. And then if you really need that much RAM, you're probably going to want to settle with lower speeds just because you will know that it's stable. Even at 6,000, even if it boots and even if it seems like it's stable, you're still going to have to run a lot of stress tests to make absolutely sure that that much RAM is stable at that kind of speed. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. The other thing, too, about the memory training times, one of the things that I realized, if you're not running your RAM at high speed, so if you're running your RAM at 5600 or 5200, or even like the JDEC 4800, the RAM training on subsequent boots, even if you turn off memory context restore, is actually not that long. It's once you go up to 6,000 or above and you increase the amount of memory, that is when the training times take significantly longer. So just know that if you do want to do 4 sticks of dual rank, the training times are going to be really long. So it's not like it's not going to work. It will work, but there's a lot of trial and error involved. And because of all the trial and error, you're going to spend a lot of time with subsequent memory training, testing a certain impedance value, then it has to do the memory training again. Then let's say that one didn't work, so you got to try a different value, then it has the memory train again. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot of work unless you don't care about the speed and you're willing to just let it run at 5200 or maybe 5600. And 5600 will most likely work, but it's probably going to require some manual tuning. But that's what I would say for anyone that's trying to run that much RAM for whatever the reason is. But anyway, guys, that's probably where I'm going to end the stream. I did not expect this stream to be 3 hours long, but that's what it is. So yeah, so expect to see some Japan videos in the future. It's probably, what, 3 weeks away from now? So yeah, there's going to be some YouTube shorts that show up on the channel that are going to be like, this is a micro center in Japan. This is a random temple. This is a random shrine. You know, random stuff like that is probably going to start flooding the channel. So just so you guys know, it's like, no, the channel didn't change its target content. It's still going to be doing tech stuff and some gaming stuff. It's just, I'm in a foreign country. I don't have access to all my computers. So we're going to have to do everything with a cell phone. And that's how it's going to work for a while. So that's travel tech reviews. Yeah, TTR instead of GTR. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this stream. I will see you guys on Thursday. So we will be doing the regular Tech Thursdays this coming Thursday. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good week.